Hi there. For this video, you need to know about the dimensions of consciousness. I made a separate video of that. I am going to use the sixth dimension of knowledge that comes from God to your soul in love. And I'm going to explain with that the relationship issues that has the potential to break you from even a deep relationship. When you look at the dimensions of consciousness, you see that there is also then different levels that it provides for you to learn about love. You start at the third dimension where your soul enters your body and you experience the physical elements of love. Then the next is where you add mental and where your mind think about that love and how you feel about it and what you experience. Then the next dimension is where emotions come into play. And then after that, the love and knowledge with God, love with holiness and light, love with trust and love in unity. I did not say anything further on. That is more than most of us can at the moment endure. You can now see that the dimensions of consciousness can explain some of the relationship issues we have today. The male part of the soul wants to predominantly stay in the third dimension, where there is carnal, physical gratification. That means you eat nice things, you drink what you like, and you have lots of sex. The female part of the soul wants to grow into the mind where she creates this whole, place where she feels safe and wanted and all those things. That's why the male would also then tell the female to don't overthink it and go into the mind too much. And the fifth dimension is where your emotions come into play, and normal relationships will have about 3 months of this where it is naturally part of your relationship and you feel the emotions when you get together. So if you take this and look at something like sex, in the physical layer, you have an enormous experience, a carnal experience of sex. But if you add the mind and think and form pictures of what you want and how you feel, it enhances the sexual experience. And then adding emotion basically then brings that whole experience to a total next level where you feel connected and so in love that it binds you on a different level. If just those 3 levels of experiencing love on different levels enhances each other, think about what more is there from the 6th level up. How you can experience love by bringing all of those together. When you look at relationships and how it is formed today, people actually want to have love in a relationship. However, they use the tools of ego to form that relationship. This means you look at a person and what they can give you, and then what you can return, which is a sort of more a contract base than love. See, love, if you go and look at the video I made about love, is all about giving without wanting anything back. It is having the privilege of living yourself out next to another person. However, what we do, because we know of the fallibility of another person, we then first want to match. Say, look at all the things that you do, and if that person does the same as you, and how you match up. So, and if you take that, that's all the sort of the judgments you have about life. What do you feel about family, about friends, monogamy? And when you feel that you match up, you now have a great opportunity for a relationship. And then you form your relationship by thinking about how you can make it nice and better. Doing things, going out, visit places, all to make that relationship whatever you think in your mind. However, all of these type of relationship that is based on the ego will eventually suffer the same fate, and that is you'll end up in conflict and feelings of entrapment. Feel trapped in that relationship because you have built something that is not based on the free giving of love. If we want to know how to get a relationship of love, and which is based on the principles of love, there's a few things that we need to understand first. And we see that most people have not reached self-actualization. I made a video about the pyramid of needs, and self-actualization is the point where you reach, where you provide everything for yourself. And because you are not there, and you still want this relationship of love, you need to know how to enter into this relationship. I'm going to read this. The person you meet will have to learn many things and change a lot to reach self-actualization, just like you will. No, you will need to support each other, like a baby crying while you do not know what to do. So, remember that each person goes through their own journey of enhancing their soul and growing in love. And you will not always know what you need, because life is there to come and teach you. But you need to be ready to absorb that. And if you have to fight with your partner, you will never be ready to absorb what life is bringing to you. So rather than trying to have a partner that is perfect, learn how to live with a partner that is not perfect, because you are also not perfect and you are also growing with that partner. So discuss with each other what you need for the current stage of your journey and how the other person can assist you. So once you realize that you haven't arrived and you're not supposed to be arrived yet, you can then discuss with each other what you need for that part of the journey and help each other with that. Tell each other what they can do. So love is flexible and without judgment. Therefore, the relationship based on love search for the accommodation of differences, forming new ways of living and thinking together to discover your flavor of happiness in love. So this is where the differences in relation comes in. is when you know that you love and you have love in your heart, you can accommodate another person and the differences. And the challenge is to find what is the two of you, what is it that you can make, what is the new thing that you can bring out of this. Because love always look at what it can build and what it can make new. So I said this last part is where I explain what it is to live in complete love, two people together. It is when you can live completely transparent with another person and feel allowed and safe to do the same actions as when you are alone. So that means you feel safe to be who you are in the presence of another person. It means that you don't have to change your life. Life will bring the change to you. And you are there to learn. And your partner is there to be with you on that journey. Now we continue with a bunch of interesting facts that can help you in your relationship when you understand how these things work. We start with sensual touch. I can only feel my own body's touch senses. My partner only activate the senses in my skin. My mind is the biggest tool during sensual touch. It is your own responsibility to engage it, not your partner's. So, your partner touch your skin. You have to take that and bring it to your mind and let it say, I like this. Otherwise, you can resist what your partner is doing or not even notice that. You have to engage. It's important. In sex, you are responsible for your own enjoyment and guiding your willing partner to satisfy your needs. So many people just think that another person must know how to touch them. Well, if you follow that, unfortunately, you will never experience the fullness of what a sexual relationship can bring you when you interact by telling the person what to do for you. The effect of sex physically only lasts in your body for a few hours, like food. What can last longer is how you engage in your thoughts about it afterwards. So, once you have sex, that goes over in a short time. And only if you engage that in your mind, it can stay longer. Sex has nothing to do with love. However, when your mind is engaged by love for another person, this love can enhance your experience immensely. So remember, sex is not equal to love. Sex is just enhancing the love that you have for another person. The next interesting fact is something that breaks up most relations, and that is adultery. So in light of that, I first want to put down something important. Love seeks for the well-being of my partner in any situation and does not stop when our partner do things that influence us. So first, if your relationship is based on love, it will stay that way. It cannot ever change, regardless of what your partner do. So, why do you fall into adultery even while in a loving relationship? We are looking at other people for intimate pieces to understand ourselves better, and our partner does not have or need to have every answer to our journey for understanding. So, first thing to know is that what is drawing you to other people is you are looking for answers and pieces of yourself. If you reached self-actualization, you will not actually look at anyone else for your needs anymore, but yourself. And therefore, the place to fall into a adultery situation will not arise anymore. But most people do not have self-actualization yet, and therefore you are still yearning and looking at people, and that's why you always look at a person that has some attribute that you like, and that's why you are drawn to them, is because you are looking for yourself. You're not looking for somebody else. You are actually happy in your relationship, but your relationship are there for you to grow now, and that is what you have to understand about your partner. Why do you break up your relationship and say it is because of adultery? Your internal insecurity and ego belief that you own another person breaks your relationship. It normally is not the adultery that breaks the relationship, but the relationship was already broken, and adultery becomes the escape code to distract you from the failure to know and be in love. You see, love never ends. Love is always there. But once you fall out of love, for most people, you'll see that they are completely angry at the other person. But where did that anger start? It could not have been start in that moment that they find out about adultery. It started long before. And if people are willing to actually bring that to the foreground, there would have been so much more understanding around adultery and when that happens. Why can you still be together in love after adultery? So love says, regardless of whom you have sex with, our relationship bond is strong enough because it is based on love and understanding and caring for the well-being of my partner. Love understands what your partner needs for growth in their life and are ready to be there for them. Ego is not. So if your relationship is in ego, you want to have that and own that person, and you are not ready to allow them to grow and find their way. So that is all the things you need to know around adultery. Now we get to pornography. Desire and importance was designed on earth to teach us what can steal our focus away from love. So remember, everything on earth was created for a purpose to teach you about love. Nothing on earth is evil and is there and shouldn't be there. It should be removed. It's there to teach you. So why do you fall into pornography even while in a loving relationship? We watch pornography to ease our desire to feel important. In today's timeline, we learn that when a person is willing to show their nakedness to you, it is because you are important enough to form a relation. So, when you look at pornography and you want to feel important, you see that or you make that nakedness equal to feeling that you are important enough that they will show their nakedness. So, is it the nakedness that you want or the importance that you want to feel? When will people stop to watch pornography then? In the physical, when you remove the faces of naked people, as the face is revealing their desire which your ego absorbs. So if you take pornography and you remove all the heads, eventually you will feel there's nothing, because there's nothing to draw you, because it's in the faces of that people that you gain that part of desire and importance. And mentally, when your soul provides your body the needs for esteem. So when you have grown on the pyramid of needs to the point where you provide yourself with the esteem that you need, you will not be driven to look at pornography anymore. What can you do when your partner is trapped in pornography? Acknowledge the fact that your partner is on earth to learn about the differences between ego importance and self-esteem. Only if you know the difference can you assist them in love. So, what I'm saying is that you are there to assist your partner, even when they're looking at pornography. They are searching for the difference between ego importance and self-esteem. And you can assist them in that, or you can just fight them in that and prolong the period that they need to learn about this. So keep that in mind. The next things are what we all will have to experience at some stage in our lives: separation, divorce, and death of a loved one. We need to learn that love must be kindled as special, and we need to know we can lose love at any time during our life. So, designed on earth are these three things that teach us that a loved one is not a constant. It's not something that's there and we don't have to care or worry about it. Love needs to be kindled in your heart. We need to make effort to have and to hold that. So, why does separation, divorce, and death of a loved one hurt so much then? These three experiences are designed for our soul on earth to experience loss of love and the emotion weight it carried if we go through this experience. So we need to understand that love can hurt. Love can be in a place that we feel that loss. And how does it feel? If you do not go through that experience, you think you can mess with love as much as you want and nothing can ever happen. Why do we experience these three things which with so much emotion? There are two reasons. We do not yet have the understanding which love brings us to know why these experiences are part of life on earth, or these experiences must draw our attention to what we do not want to lose. So the emotions is the road signs to direct us to take notice. So your emotions must basically break into your soul so that you can see the value and importance of losing love. And sometimes, if you do not yet understand the bigger picture of why you lose a person, you can then struggle with knowing why this happened. What do you need to understand about these three experiences? Separation teach us that each soul needs to provide all their needs for themselves before attempting to form a relation. So separation is there to, you normally say, I need to go and find myself. I need to go and see what am I to be in this relationship. So because you haven't done that before the relationship, you now need to separate from that love so that you can find yourself first. Divorce teaches us that if we fail to provide our own needs, we will blame our partner and make the separation permanent. So the next thing after separation is when you divorce and you basically haven't done your part. You fail to provide all your needs, and now you want to extract it out of your partner, and you start to blame your partner for not providing those needs to you. So, and that is why you then go into divorce, and divorce then should hurt more than the separation, because you can feel that you have failed, and that is why people find it so difficult to divorce, is because you actually feel the failure of being able to provide your own needs. And then death teaches us that there can come a time when we cannot resolve our relationship with a person to resolve issues now. So death is there to show you that in the place where you have not done what you wanted to do with a person, death can come in and take that part away from you. So again, love must be kindled as special. Keep that in mind, because when you get to death and you know in your heart you've done whatever you wanted to do with that person, it will not come and intrude your emotions that strong. Keep that in mind. Now, a few small things to know if you want to grow your love. Negative feelings only rule your life if you fail to make your own decision to design your life the way you want it to be. So, you must know that for your life, you are the owner. You are the one that makes decisions. So if you have negative feelings, it only rules your life if you stop making your own choice. You need to break the cages of right and wrong thinking, which makes you feel entrapped by failure. Love already has a place for you. You see, right and wrong thinking always leads you to a place where you fear that you are not good enough, that you failed somewhere. But if you know that love already has a place for you, you can hang on to that and always return to this place. And know that if you only understand this, you will have a better insight to hold on to love. No, it is not your partner that makes you feel trapped. They do not have access to your internal negotiation between your body and soul. So, when you go and you reason and you think, your partner did this and that's why I feel like this, it's not true. Whatever anything or anyone else does around you can only influence you if you take that thing, either what they said, what they've done, and draw it inside you and make a judgment around that. So, without you doing that, nothing can touch you. But the moment you take those words or those accusations, those blaming or things that people bring to you, and you take that and make it part of yourself, that is the point where you feel it and you start to lose the faith you have in yourself, because you take that and you do something with it. So feelings are the road signs that assist you to know there are something in your life that requires love with understanding. You need to administer this love to yourself. So when you get to your emotions and your feelings, those are the road signs that tells you there's a change that needs to come, and that requires your love and understanding. And you have to bring that, because remember, nothing can come from external to you. You have to bring that to you and bring that love so that you can take and learn and get the knowledge for yourself. Go and search. Today we have internet. We can search any subject. Do it for yourself. Believe love will always provide you with an answer that will make you feel happy to engage life. Your heart will feel free and happy to do what you think is needed. So if you believe that love is there to provide to you all the answers, that will be drawn towards you, and you will start to feel happy because your life matters. Now we come to guilt. So why do people use guilt? Guilt or sorry are the words we use as a dump yard for all the things we do not want to handle in our life. So first, take in this fact. When you use guilt or feeling sorry, it is a proclamation that you do not actually want to handle something. You want to use a magic word that all of a sudden makes the thing that you've done or that you've done in a way that people didn't like, you want to make it disappear because you don't want to handle it. So what better way are there to remove guilt? Stop telling your partner you feel guilty or sorry and start doing an action to fix the issue. Rather put your energy into ways to do something to resolve your weakness so you can return to the wellness feeling in your heart. You see, again, this whole thing is for you to return to where you feel balanced again. When you interact with something that you've done wrong in a way where you want to resolve it, not just say sorry and move on. Your partner feel that, they can see that you are engaging on a next level to enhance your life, and then they can step in much easier to maybe provide you with information that you need for the change, and you can resolve this. This can actually become a lifestyle where there's something that you've done wrong, your partner feel you didn't care or something, and you come back and say, I see this, it's an opportunity to learn. So acknowledge guilt as a feeling that wants to show you that your love wants to do something to fix the issue. Now, the interesting fact that everyone knows. Anger. Why do people get angry? Anger is an energy that wants to activate you to leave your laziness behind and do something to resolve your love and happiness. So, if you think about it, anger is something that's active. It's got a lot of energy. You see a person when they're angry, they've got a lot of energy. They can do things. When me and my wife had some fights, it was so much easier to clean the house than when we were in love. In love, we just wanted to sit together and hug each other. While when you're angry, you take those jobs and it becomes so much easier because that energy in your anger is there. Now, the reason it's there is to get you off your ass and help you to resolve this thing for which you are angry with. So where you would normally retract into, a place where you don't do anything about it, this anger energy will pull you out of that to bring you to a place to do things. If you get angry, what does it mean? Know on your inside that anger is here to activate change. Know that you have waited too long to address something important that has the power to steal your freedom and happiness. So, if you allowed anger to brew inside you, you have waited too long. That anger is an energy. It will start to consume you, to break all that you have, because it wants action. It wants to see change happen. So take note of that. Internally, find what you are not happy about. A lot of people come and they are angry and they don't even know what it really is. You see, the obvious thing is most probably not what it is. So if somebody leave the toilet seat up, your anger is not for the toilet seat, but for somebody not taking you into consideration. And that is the thing that you need to address in a loving matter, of a loving way with each other. So decide what is the solution that will resolve the thing. So first, internally, decide for yourself what you think the solution is. Don't go to your partner, batter them with your anger, and think they have to, out of that, bring an answer to you. You first need to think for yourself. Otherwise, the answer may end up to be something that you don't want. Tell yourself you are sorry that you waited too long to resolve this, to break the energy of your anger and ready yourself to deal with your partner in a loving way that fits the value you have for your own relationship. So, inside yourself now, tell yourself that you are sorry that you have waited too long to action this thing, because you have to break that energy of the anger. You have to be guilty of the fact that you've waited too long. And then go to your partner so that you can go and resolve things together without that energy of anger, but with the love of understanding and being there for each other. So, anger happens when you wait too long to address something in love, which can take away your happiness. Now we come to the last part where people do not understand creation itself. Darkness or light. Why are there darkness and light? So darkness is the absence of light. It does not have energy to make darkness inside light. So wherever you shine light, darkness disappears. There is no thing that you can have that inside light you power that thing and it shines a beam of darkness. Why is that? In light you can only create darkness by screening out the light. So you can't create it by this other beam, magical. We learn in life to fear darkness, yet darkness does not have power. So There's no energy you can come and make darkness, but we learn to fear darkness. It only signifies the absence of light or power. So, darkness was created to show you there is absence of the light. And now we bring that back to life. Remember, everything on earth was created to teach us about love and life. So, your soul must shine its light into your body to illuminate the wonder of your creation and separate you from darkness. How does that sound? Your soul is the light that shines into your body. You must bring that energy to enhance your life and make it better. If there's darkness that you see in your life, it is because you have not shone your light onto that. We need deeds of darkness on earth to validate our deeds of light. So, if everybody just only loved, there was nothing for us to do, nothing to grow further to. But because the darkness exists on earth, it actually defines the light. If you think about it, if you have a TV with only white, you cannot make a picture. But if you have darkness, it starts to define the white in a way that you can form a picture. So remember that. We need that on earth. So if everyone was only doing good deeds, there would have been no need to learn about love. This is something to understand. Creation was done by bringing the opposite to light, that which you don't want. But without it, you are not defined. It is the dualism of life and creation that comes together. Thank you for watching.